Rick was the funniest guy I've ever met. The girls would ask me, my daughters are 26 and 23 now, and they'd ask me, "Mom, what did you ever see in Dad?" And I'd say, "He makes me laugh." I didn't want to sit at home and grieve. I didn't know what that looked like. And so I went back to work, but I look at things that I did in last spring semester, and I look at the work and I say, this looks pretty good. I wonder who did it. Because I don't remember. I remember people saying things that I just had to forgive because I couldn't understand where that was coming from, other than the fact that I'd have to back up and tell myself, they said that to me because they so very badly want me to be okay. They want my future to be bright. My sister asked me the night of his funeral when I was going to start dating again. And I paused and I said, it doesn't seem real that he's gone. So dating is the farthest thing from my mind. And I thought, oh, how could she say something like that? How could she be that thoughtless? And in retrospect, I think she was just saying, I so badly want you to be okay. Wow. That's been every day. Some days have been fine, and I'm functional. I think grief hits me like a wave and takes me down some days. Only in the last couple of months have I felt like my brain is back to my own brain. And I realized that the grief in the numbness in the first few months was really a blessing. And I didn't understand it, but it was really a blessing because things are beginning to feel more intense instead of just unreal. Going back to work did help me. I belong to a grief group at my church, and that we meet for 4 weeks, and then we have a few weeks off, and then 4 more weeks, and I miss it. And I've gotten to know a few widows pretty well, and we rely on each other. So I have a few people who really understand what I'm going through. I have a lot of friends who are loving, wonderful people who have no idea. And they're still my good friends, but they don't have any idea. You have to have a sense of humor about those awkward things that people said, and remember that they probably didn't mean to hurt you. You wonder why, why you're breathing, why you're existing. Everything hurts so badly. So it's really hard not to take things personally, or not to think they're just trying to throw their salt in my wound. I still come home from work and I think, yeah, well, I've got this story to tell Rick when. No, I'm not going to tell him that story. Seeing the grief through my daughters, because they're adults, and I can't take that pain away from them. I can't fix it for them. And my husband was very close with both of our daughters. Very, very close. And they're feeling it immensely, and just knowing that I can't fix that is very painful. Yeah, I'm lonely, but I have friends, and I have work, and I have interests, and I have hobbies, and I will survive. Healing from grieving takes time and energy, and it's not something that you can do faster because you're doing it harder, or get through it faster because you're focusing more on it. That grief takes time, and it's like growing a butterfly from a cocoon. That you can't just open up those wings, that they have to go through that process, and that they will open up in their own time. You gotta go there. You gotta let it wash over you and know that some days are so bad, and those really bad days are often followed with joyful good days. But you gotta let it come when it comes, because it has its own life. Find the things that used to give you joy and do those. And so if it's walking or nature or art or singing or praying or meditation or yoga or laughter, to make time for those. And don't feel bad about saying no to people who ask you to make commitments to them. Don't make any commitments that aren't absolutely required. That I was so distracted that I really held people at arm's length, and I don't now. And I sort of love that. It's one of the small gifts. I'm worried about the second year. I mean, everybody tells me the second year, oh, the first year is pretty bad, second year is really bad, and then the third year, you start to heal and you start to move forward. I'm smart, I'm strong, I'm capable, and so I can do this grief thing too. And then you realize, no, you can't work harder at it and heal faster. It's just going to take what it takes. I mean, I have to look out for what I need, whatever that's going to be.